time to find it. All right, there we go. Let's go. All right. There she is. Whew. Guys, it is already starting to snow here. Woo!
And there we were, off on the greatest adventure of our lives. No plans, no worries, just an open road and endless possibility. There was something liberating about that, about not knowing, about stepping away from the constant pressure to have everything figured out. Lately, it felt like I was carrying this weight of uncertainty, the kind of anxiety that makes you feel like the future is this looming shadow. I'd been stuck in my head, overthinking, planning for things that weren't even here yet. And somewhere in all that, I realized I'd forgotten how to live now. I mean, how often do we let the future take over the present?
Whew, guys, it is starting to come down now. It is nice because I think the rest of the trip, which is a good thing, is supposed to be really sunny, so it's honestly kind of nice to have a little bit of snowfall. Well, guys, we continued walking and we kind of started to notice that there's actually no one else around us. Everyone kind of seemed to disappeared, so I'm thinking we might have took a wrong turn or something, but I guess we're kind of making our own path at this point. And we actually were walking by and we saw all the people diving in between the tectonic plates, which is something you can do, but I don't know if I was up for that right now with this insane weather. Woo! Oh. Man, I am exhausted.
This trip isn't really an escape in the way people usually think of it. It's not about running away from something, but it's about being here, fully here in this every moment. I didn't need to control the future. I just needed to breathe and let life happen around me.
Guys, I'm not kidding when I say it is actually the coldest I've ever felt. When this wind blows, because there's nothing around us to stop the wind, it is brutal. So it's absolutely beautiful, but I've lost all feeling in my hands and face, so we're headed back to the van.
As our first day on this wild journey came to a close, we decided it was best to find a local campsite to settle down for the night.
too bad.
It's good.
All right, guys, it is officially morning 2 of Iceland. It feels crazy to say that, but this trip is already flying by. But we had our first official night in the van, and I don't know, I slept pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty comfortable.
Woke up a little bit during the night. I kept checking to see if I could see the northern lights, but unfortunately neither of us saw anything. So yeah, just having a little bit of breakfast. The sun looks like it's just starting to peak up, so I think we're gonna hit the road and we're gonna have a fun day. It's supposed to be pretty sunny, so I'm hoping we'll maybe see the northern lights tonight.
Yeah.
Cross our fingers. Woo! Let's go!
And with that, we were back on the road. But today, we didn't have many plans. No must-sees or deadlines. We were just following the road again, seeing where it would take us. It's funny how easy it is to forget that nothing really needs to be planned out. The beauty's in the unknown, in the small discoveries we make along the way. We could have rushed to see 100 things, ticked off the list of Iceland must-dos. But what if the best part of this journey wasn't in the places we'd visit, but in simply letting go of the need to control every moment? So we drove. Not with a destination in mind, but with the intention to just be. To notice the details. The way the frost clings to the trees, the sound of the tires on the icy roads, the way the world feels alive in ways we usually miss. It wasn't about doing it all. It was about taking a breath, about slowing down and giving ourselves permission to just exist in the moment. It's the kind of peace you can only find when you stop chasing and start living. Maybe things are already perfect. Maybe I'm exactly where I need to be. We're always chasing a dream, but maybe we're already living it. We seem to get so caught up in the pursuit, convinced that the best is yet to come, that the life we're looking for is right around the corner. We build up this idea of someday, that one day we'll have the time, the space, the freedom to finally live. But what if we already have it? What if everything we've been searching for is right here, in the moments we take for granted? I mean, how many times do I find myself thinking, once I do this, then I'll be happy. Once I get to that place, then I'll feel at peace. But in doing so, I miss out on the beauty of the now. We're so focused on the next milestone, the next step, that we forget to look around and see that we're already living in the dream we've been chasing all along. It's not in some distant future. It's here, in the freedom to roam, in the quiet moments to make us truly feel alive. Maybe the dream isn't something we need to chase at all. Maybe it's just something we need to recognize.
Man, that's a lot of stairs. All right, should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we were debating doing all these stairs to get to the top of the waterfall, but we're here, we might as well do it. How are we feeling?
So tired.
I'm exhausted. That was my leg day for the year. right, guys, we made it. Woo! So we are now at another really cool thing in Iceland. I believe in like 1973 or something, there was actually I believe it was a US like Navy plane or something like that crash landed on one of the beaches here. Everyone survived, but they left the plane. So yeah, it's still abandoned here and it's just sitting on a black sand beach. So yeah, we're gonna go check it out. Guys, the views here are insane. There's not a single person in sight. Just these insane mountains. Like, where are we right now? There's like no ugly view in this country. Man. Oh, all right, guys, it is morning. Not gonna lie, sleep last night was pretty rough. It took me quite a while to fall asleep, and mainly because the wind just got so insane last night. Like probably the most violent winds I've ever felt in my life. Felt like the van was rattling at some points. I thought it was just gonna blow away, but we're still here. We made it. Yeah, I think it's safe to say we might have slept in one of the coolest places in the entire world. Well, guys, because it is super early in the morning, we're actually going to take a quick walk over to the waterfall because we are the only people here, so might as well take advantage because this thing is so beautiful. Guys, this is unreal. We have this entire place to ourselves. Sun is rising in the background. I'm in shock right now. This is crazy. There's no one here. All to ourselves. Unreal. Unreal.
I came into this trip thinking I was going to discover the world, but really what I'm discovering is myself. At first, I thought I needed to see a new place, to make more memories that would define this journey. But the more I spend time away from everything, the more I realize how little I actually know about me. It's strange, really, how much we hide from ourselves, how many layers we build to protect us from the discomfort of really sitting with who we are. In the busyness of life, it's easy to run from the things we don't want to face. But out here, there's no running. There's nowhere to hide. And so the days blur into each other, and I start to peel back those layers. Not all at once. Sometimes it's just a quiet realization, a fleeting moment that makes me pause. Sometimes it's a piece of the past I thought I'd forgotten. Other times it's the simple act of being with myself in a place that doesn't demand anything from me. I'm learning that discovering the world is easy. It's out there waiting for us to look. But discovering yourself, that's something different. It takes silence. It takes space. It takes letting go of who you thought you were and letting the real you rise to the surface. And maybe that's the truest kind of adventure. Not the places you go, but the parts of yourself you find along the way.
All right, guys, we have made it to the famous Diamond Beach. And the reason it's called that is because we are right on the ocean. And the way this beach works is somehow it forms like these insane little ice crystals. They almost look like rocks, but they're actually ice. So they call it Diamond Beach because they all look like diamonds. And what's amazing is we happen to make it just in time for the sunset. So sky is still really clear, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed we might be able to see the northern lights tonight. But this is so beautiful. Look at this. This is why they call it Diamond Beach. There's literally hundreds, thousands of these things littered all across the beach. Some of them are as big as me. This is crazy. Well, guys, that was crazy. I did not even expect to see those seals. Believe it or not, that's actually, I think, like the first wildlife we've seen here besides like birds. But right now we are just walking into the glacier. I've never truly seen anything quite like this. Like, I think this might be the closest thing to feeling like a different planet. It's just endless ice sculptures and rivers and mountains. Like, it's just like an endless sheet of white and blue. Wow. Well, guys, right now we are actually just driving around kind of aimlessly right now in search of the Northern Lights. They said that tonight was supposed to be the most active around 9 p.m. and nothing at all. And it is completely clear, which at least we don't have the clouds to worry about, but you can't help but feel a little bit hopeless because it is almost 9 and we see absolutely nothing. So this is night 3 of not really seeing the lights, so yeah, I don't know. It's a little disappointing, but gonna try to stay positive, and I'm hoping that somehow, some way, we're gonna be able to see them.
And after a few more hours of waiting, well, this happened.
Well, guys, we actually pulled up to this little village, and there's actually no wind here because there are giant mountains blocking the whole thing. So it actually feels a little bit warmer, a little bit calm. You can actually walk around and not have to worry about like ice blowing into your face. But yeah, it's completely beautiful. It's just like a little small town in the middle of these mountains, just a few little buildings. It's kind of like that cute little Hallmark village vibe. And yeah, I think we're just gonna take some time to just kind of walk around and explore this little place because it is so pretty. This really does look like something straight out of a fairy tale.
I don't know why I kept thinking about that village. It wasn't anything special, and I wasn't even there that long. But there was this quiet, like it was trying to remind me of something I've forgotten. I left and I kept driving. I don't think I realized how much I've been waiting for something to happen. Waiting to feel like this trip meant something, but maybe it doesn't need to mean anything. Maybe that's why I keep thinking about the place. It was just there, and I was there with it. No pressure, no timeline, nothing to figure out. It's strange how simple that felt. I'm so used to trying to make moments count, trying to chase the right feelings, the right thoughts, but here in this part of the trip, I'm realizing maybe it's not about looking for anything. Maybe it's just about being in the mess of it, the confusion, the not knowing, just sitting with the discomfort. And I'm fine with that. Not every moment has to be some big grand revelation. Sometimes the fact that there's no point at all is exactly the point.
Well guys, we have made it to the glacier. This might be the best view in all of Iceland, and that is a bold statement because there are so many amazing places, but this is incredible. I got the sun setting behind me over the ocean in the background, and then take a look at that. Some of the coolest mountains I've seen in my entire life. But yeah, so there's actually a little bit of a hike up to the glacier, so we're gonna go ahead and check that out. Not sure exactly how long it's gonna take, because we're a little bit low on daylight, but we're gonna go see what it has to offer. I mean, already I'm blown away and we haven't even left the parking lot, so we'll see where this goes. We did not make it too far, and this thing is a complete sheet of ice. This is why they highly suggest bringing crampons so you can actually walk on the ice, because they're supposed to dig in. Yeah, we're rolling with the good old boots from Walmart, so I think we're just gonna try to slide our way up and hopefully not slide down, because that would not be fun. But man, this is incredible. It's just like complete ice. It goes all the way up to the glacier. Oh my gosh, it's starting to get really windy though. That usually happens. It gets more windy as the day goes on. But this is insane.
Does not feel like real life right now.
It really doesn't. We just saw the sunset over the ocean. And we're looking at an insane glacier, insane mountains. Like, what is going on? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I think right about at this moment I said probably the most life-changing information you'll ever hear, but unfortunately all the camera picked up was this. So I guess you'll just have to take my word for it.
Guys, I apologize if the audio is horrible. I'm trying my best here, but this wind is just picked up, and oh my gosh, it almost knocked us over. But right behind me, you can see an entire view of the glacier. I didn't even know that's what a glacier looked like, but that is incredible. And apparently that thing stays looking like that all year round, even in the summer when it gets a little warmer here. Wow, I know I've said it 100 times right now. I probably sound like a broken record, but I am so at a loss of words. I can't even describe what I'm seeing. This is like more than a painting or anything could ever show you. Like, wow. You know what's cool about this, guys, is no tour or no anything could have provided something like this. This is just like actual exploring. We had no plans today, and this might have been one of the greatest days of my entire life. We were just completely spontaneous. We left it up to chance, and this is what we were rewarded. Guys, we sat up there for like another half hour and just enjoy the moment, because I find that I really seem to struggle a lot with being completely present in a moment, especially one as great as that. Like, I know that's something I'll never forget in my entire life. And I always seem to think that, like, you know, one day, 50 years from now, I'd give absolutely anything to be right back here in this moment, to live it again. And it's like, it's hard to remind yourself that, like, I'm writing these stories now. This is the present. And sometimes that's hard for me to get through my head. But when you get moments like that, it just like changes the whole way you think about life, like what's really important, what really matters. And I don't even know what I'm saying right now, because it's one of those days where I'm just like, crazy deep thoughts are running through my head, and just like so incredibly grateful for the opportunities I have in this life, and that I'm able to see things and experience things like that. All right, guys, as you can see, we are back in the van and we're actually heading somewhere pretty cool. So we are ditching the van for the night and we're getting a little bit of an upgrade. We're actually going to one of the nicest hotels in all of Iceland. Now, this hotel is said to be one of the best places in the entire country to see the Northern Lights, but unfortunately, by the looks of it, doesn't look like the clouds are quite on our side tonight, but that's okay. Time will tell. And if you are on your South Coast road trip here in Iceland, it's kind of the perfect stopping point because you're not all that far from the city, but you're also not that far from all the main attractions like the waterfalls. Oh my gosh, guys, this looks really nice. Here we go.
After arriving at Hotel Ranga, we were taken to our suite and I was blown away at how nice the place was. What's really cool about this hotel is that it's actually a part of the small luxury hotels of the world.
Well, I think it is safe to say that this might be just a slight upgrade from the last few nights we've been spending in the van. This is gonna be fun.
Our room came with a full living area, a king-size bed, a jacuzzi, a mini bar, a private balcony, and not to mention that it was built like a log cabin, which really added to the whole Iceland vibe.
And one thing that I absolutely love about this hotel is the head. You don't even have to worry about trying to stay up all night to see the Northern Lights. Like, you can just go to bed and all you have to do is hit this little button and you'll get a wake-up call if there's any activity spotted throughout the night.
You have successfully ordered a wake-up call for the Northern Lights.
As I mentioned before, what really makes Hotel Ranga just such an ideal destination in Iceland is its close proximity to everything around it. Whether you want to head to the city, go explore waterfalls for the day, or just stopping by for the night, Hotel Ranga is the perfect spot to do it, as it's right off the main ring road. We hung out in the hotel a bit more until it was time for dinner. We then made our way down to the dining room and were seated right by the large windows with amazing views of the night sky. The dinner started with one of Iceland's favorites, the mushroom soup, which I wasn't too sure of at first, but actually ended up really liking it. We then hopped right into the main course, in which we chose the reindeer steak, and I have to say this was probably one of the best meals I've ever had. But it also could be the fact that I've been living off soggy Cheerios for the past week. After dinner, we just took some time to enjoy the night off from van life and really make use of this amazing hotel. The next morning, we were greeted with a beautiful buffet breakfast where we made sure to take full advantage before having to head back to the realities of van life.
Well, I would say that breakfast was just as amazing. They had a whole buffet and they also had a menu that you can order that's included with your stay. And now we are gonna go try something that this hotel offers that is very unique. And it might seem like a crazy idea because it is brutally cold and a bit windy outside, but we're actually gonna go check out the outdoor hot tubs because, like, why not? We're in Iceland. I hope I can make it to the hot tub before I actually freeze, but let's do it.
There was a time when I didn't even know who I was becoming, but now I see how much I've changed.
Alright guys, so this is I guess part 2 of our journey.
Who's fucking with skydiving? Who does that? Hey, have a great day. Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna try to hitchhike. Beautiful day out here. Nothing better.
We all have moments in our past that shaped us, versions of ourselves that we thought we'd never grow beyond. But the truth is, we're always evolving, always becoming who we were meant to be. Looking back, I realized that the struggles, the uncertainty, the unanswered questions, those were all part of the journey. And without them, I wouldn't be here today. Every step, every choice has led me to this moment, to this version of myself. So maybe the truth of it isn't finding who we are, but in accepting that we're always in the process of becoming.
All right, man, last adventure.
Let's do it.
Well, that was it. The end of our journey. Or at least what we thought was the end. But in truth, there really was no final destination. no perfect place to arrive at. It wasn't about a point on a map, but the understanding that no matter where we go, there's always going to be more to discover. No matter how far we travel, how much we grow or learn, there's always something just beyond our view. A world we can't quite touch, but one that calls us forward, gently pulling us toward the next chapter. It's the constant reminder that life isn't about finding a place where we'll feel done, but rather it's about continuously unfolding, like a road that never truly ends. There's always more to explore, more to feel, more to experience, and maybe that's the truest form of freedom, not waiting for a moment to arrive, but finding peace in the journey itself. The road ahead might be unknown, but isn't that what makes it so exciting? And maybe that's the truth about the horizon. It's not something you reach, but it's something you carry with you. Every single one of us has a dream, a goal, a destination we're working toward. But don't let the pursuit of what's next take you away from appreciating what's happening right now. Every step, every moment, it's all part of the adventure. So take a breath, enjoy the ride, and trust that the path you're on is exactly where you're meant to be. Life is happening now. Don't miss it.